Let's talk about those resumes. There are certain words, phrases that you should and should not use. When you sift through a lot of these things, you definitely know which ones should make their way to the top, and I'm sure there's things that are in common with the good ones and then with the bad ones. Harley Lippman, the founder and CEO of Genesis10, joining us on set now. Genesis10 is a business and technology consultant firm. You know all about this stuff. So you look at a lot of resumes from MBAs, from folks with business degrees, and then also the same with technology and engineering skills, I imagine?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. So these resumes are probably a little bit different than ones in, say, our field here of journalism,
right.
I would imagine. Let's start with the must-haves in a resume. What should the resume that you get from the biz and tech side of things have in it?
Well, like most things, it has to be kept to basics, which means a clear description as to what your skills are.
Mm-hmm. Like a sentence at the top?
Yes. Just say what your skills are and what you're looking for, and keep it short but highlight it.
Okay, so Harley Lippman, then your address and phone number,
okay.
And then that one line.
That's right.
Okay, and then after that?
And then after that, make sure you use keywords, because what happens is that companies like ours get literally thousands of resumes all the time. So we use technology to streamline the process. Mm-hmm. So we look for keywords, like it could be business analyst, project manager, and that's what you have to have, because that's what will be picked up by the technology and be put in front of the recruiter.
Right. Project manager, give me some more.
Oh, business analyst, software developer,
Keep
things
going.
like that. Quality assurance manager.
You might be doing these things, but not really know that that's the terminology you should be using. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
I mean, a lot of people, as part of their daily responsibilities, they probably manage projects, but they don't consider themselves a project manager. That's their job, you know
right.
what I mean? So I guess it requires some creative thinking.
That's right.
About what you do and how to translate that so an employer will pick up your resume.
And be specific about what you've done. So instead of just saying, I oversaw something, say, I directed this project, talk about the size of the project, the scope, what was accomplished. Did you come in under deadline or under budget? That's very meaningful.
So when you have those bullet points underneath your job, each one should be a nice chunky sentence full of description?
Well, it should be short, but just highlight the main points. And
okay.
Like anything, put yourself in the other person's shoes. They're seeing a lot of resumes,
yep.
So they want to go through it quickly.
They don't want to read long sentences.
Right, they don't want to read long sentences. So keep it short, but keep the main points that you want to relay out there. Less is more.
You want a lot of numbers, I'd imagine, in the sense that I directed 7 people with a budget of $1 million.
Exactly.
Okay.
And
now,
what was accomplished?
What if you think those numbers are kind of low? You know what I'm saying? Oh, I only manage a couple of people, or
That's fine. If you manage 7 and you may be applying for a position where now you're going to manage 15, you have that background. If
okay.
you've managed 200, you're probably going to be shooting higher than going lower in the numbers.
Okay, so we had a full screen. So quantitative figures means those specifics, I'd
That's
imagine,
right.
those details.
That's
now
right.
you say examples of how you're a team player.
Oh, yes.
Millennials aren't team players.
Well, don't say I, say we. When they see I, that tends to not speak of being a team player.
Even on a resume?
Even on a resume.
Okay, give me, so, I mean, I'm thinking, do people even use I on resume? I mean, if you're using the bullet points.
You'd be surprised.
I would just not use I or we, I would just use the verb.
That would be fine as well.
Okay.
You can do that.
But if you're going to put a noun in there, or a pronoun, I guess, it would be we.
That's right.
Okay, so take the I out of resume.
That's right.
Except there is no I in resume.
And stay very close to your recruiter. That's very important.
Explain that.
Well, a recruiter is someone that you're going to be working with who's going to help you find a job. Mm-hmm. So you need to communicate clearly with the recruiter as to exactly what your skills are, what you're good at, mm-hmm. where you can document that and get references for that, and what you want to do. Mm-hmm. And make sure the recruiter understands that. Often there are mismatches because the candidate is not communicating with the recruiter.
What if you don't have a recruiter?
That's a problem.
Do you think everybody should have a recruiter in this economy?
Yes, there are firms that, like Genesis10, where there are recruiters that work closely with the candidates and try to find the right fit. But that requires a relationship, because it's not just the technical keywords, it's also a personality fit. They have to fit into the team, they have to like the people they're going to work with, the environment, the culture matters.
So how many people do you match up to a job per month, per year? How do you break that out?
Thousands per year.
Okay. Did you see, if you're saying that everyone should have a recruiter, and you are a recruiter. Did you see an uptick in your business when the job market got lousy?
We did, because even when there are budget cuts from big corporations, they still need to get the work done. So they'll bring in people on a temporary basis.
Okay.
So you may have a job that's short-term when the market is down. And when the market gets better, it could go full-time.
So how do you go about finding potential candidates to bring to that firm that's hiring?
Well, we have search engines. People apply online, and they look at our website, and we see various other websites, and we look for really good candidates. But really good people tend to work with a recruiter or recruiters and have a relationship. Those are the A players.
Right. I always thought that was more for higher level employees as well.
Not necessarily. Even for software developers, you're working with a recruiter, because at the end of the day, you're dealing with a people business and with people.
Do you negotiate salary for them?
Yes, we do that as well.
Okay. That's kind of nice. It's like having an agent. In my world, it would be an agent. So, yeah.
We could ask for more money, right? It's harder for the candidate to do that.
Hey, Harley, I want 6 weeks vacation. Okay, so
that's all?
There are keywords that recruiters look for. This is our second full screen. And what you mean by that is, and I highlighted some here. You say professional organizations, technical terms, industry jargon, and that's the one I put a big question mark next to. Do you really want industry jargon on there? What do you mean by industry jargon?
Well, some people who are very technical and who have technical roles, they belong to associations and they have degrees or certifications.
Right.
People in that world do look for that, because they want to see that you're the real deal.
Right, but those are the affiliations and the professional organizations that you're a member of. But what's the industry jargon? Like, what I'm saying is, and I relate this back to TV, we have things that we call voiceovers and sound bites and VOSOTs and packages. Should I put those terms on my resume, imagining that my next TV job would
you want to show
want to see that?
You want to show that you understand the technology as well as the business. They go hand in hand. Whether it's banking, healthcare, manufacturing, you need to show you know that.
So keep the jargon. Okay.
Yes.
Software, hardware, packages, and computer lingo. That's just rounding out that total full screen if you want to talk about any of those items.
Well, I think it's just making sure that you stick to the basics. Keep it clear. Be very specific as to what you've done. Lay out so that they see that you've really done this. If you use industry jargon, it's because you've worked in it and you know it. And I think that's important to show that.
One-page resume or two?
One is usually better.
And are you still printing out or receiving paper resumes, or do you do it all electronically?
Both. It will depend on the client.
Okay. Someone once told me that, you know, when you do your resume and you save it, and it is one page, but when you send it to someone and they just print it, it prints as 2 pages, the second page is blank.
That can happen.
Someone told me, who works in HR, that if you send it and they print out 2 pages and the second page is blank, that's a ding.
No, not necessarily. That's not true.
I was like, well, I don't know how to make it. I keep saying save page 1, and I don't know why you keep getting the second page. Okay, that's not true. All right, Harley, did you want to add anything?
Yes, I want to emphasize the importance, as I mentioned already, of working with the recruiter, because they'll make the difference. It's a people business, and if you do that, you'll be ahead of the curve.
Okay. And you are a recruiter.
Yes. I'm the CEO of the company, and I have recruiters who work for me.
I know, so this
in a sense, we're all recruiters.
I feel like
I do recruit.
I feel like you're a publicist right now.
I recruit my own people. I'm the CRO of the company, Chief Recruitment Officer. Oh. So in essence, I am a recruiter.
You wear a lot of hats.
That's right.
How many people do you have working for you?
2,000.
2,000. And how many offices?
Oh, 22.
Okay, very nice.
And 130 clients.
Great to meet you.
Great to meet you,
I'll put your website
too.
up on the screen.